It's basketball time here in Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs host the Lady Bulldogs of Samford University. It's going to be a battle of two Lady Bulldog teams here to see who really has that dog in them. Hello and welcome to the historic Elmore Gymnasium as fans from all over the world are here to join us today in the closing of Elmore Gymnasium. One final game here on the beautiful campus of Alabama A&M University. I'm Chauncey Sanders, and I'm being joined alongside by my partner in crime, Alabama A&M athletics analyst himself, Juwan Davis. Juwan, we got a good one on our hands today as the Lady Bulldogs are at home finally, and what better fitting way than the farewell of Elmore Gymnasium.
Yeah, and this is a much needed time for our Bulldogs to be playing at home, with both teams looking for their first win on the season, and then Coach Richards looking for a first win with this new group of team. I'd like to see our Lady Bulldogs come out in the finale of Elmore Gymnasium.
Absolutely. Now, the Lady Bulldogs have struggled earlier on this season. However, things can change when you're at home, and the Lady Bulldogs are looking to cook up some home cooking here for this Bulldog faithful crowd in attendance.
Yeah, and one thing Coach Richards always says is getting a good start on for the teams, and we've been having close ones. We had a close game against Nicholls State down 5, and then we had a tough one against the big Alabama opponent. So now that the competitions came down, so you see how we can match up with the Lady Bulldogs today.
Absolutely. We got our starting lineups here on the floor. The Lady Dogs of Samford University. Well, we're going to have to find a way to differentiate these two teams here as we are off, and the ball is now on the floor as the Lady Bulldogs control the possession. Simmons cross-court pass over to Tony Grace. The three is up, rattles in and out for Amani Freak. Juwan, a lot of new faces here on the floor for this Lady Bulldog program, still under the helm of head coach Margaret Richards.
Yeah, and they're in a very similar situation to our men's basketball team with a lot of transfers, a lot of JUCO players coming in. It's pretty much a brand new team, and with this being a lot of our Lady Bulldogs' first game here in Elmore, I like to see how they come out.
As that layup is able to go through the contact for Jayla Cody. Cody, the junior big out of Valdosta, Georgia, a University of Central Arkansas transfer.
Yeah, she had some big shoes to fill with her coming behind Stretch, who was a big part of our offense and defense for this Miss Richards team the last couple of years. I like to see how she comes to fill her role up.
Glad you mentioned that, Juwan, as the Lady Bulldogs are going in with a lot of challenges to this season, with a lot of new faces on the floor, a lot of younger players as well on this ball club. They now face the difficulties of playing without two of their more vocal leaders, as well as more seasoned veterans on that team, with Nigeria Jones and Dariana Stretch Lewis moving on to Syracuse.
Yeah, and that's when we need players like Darian Burgeon, who's been in this system for 3 years now, to step up and maybe be a bigger leader in the role, as she's now went from being the small little dog behind Nigeria to being the oldest player on the team with.
Layup unable to fall there for Grace as she's able to get the shot off before the clock runs out. Here comes the Lady Bulldogs of Samford University. Mid-range shot is up, no good for Redmond. The lefty, Simmons, pushing the ball up the floor, pushing the pace. Grace over inside into the hands of Cody. Cody going to work again. That time the layup is unable to fall. Ball into the hands of Sanaa Redmond. Nice ball movement here from the Lady Dogs of Samford University, as that shot is no good. 3-2 early on here in the first half as the Lady Bulldogs have the possession. Grace gets the ball inside to Simmons. Simmons left-handed shot is off the glass and in. Simmons, the left-hander, residing out of Kansas. Also Biola University transfer as well. Samford looking for a response. That one is unable to fall. 3 straight possessions here for the Lady Bulldogs. Samford University without a basket as Simmons gets that layup to fall.
Yeah,
Lady Bulldogs are putting some pressure on here, Juwan.
Yeah, with this full court press, like they're around time forcing another turnover, doing a good job of getting to the paint, getting some easy layups.
As we have a block on the floor. Foul is going to be charged to Kathleen Wheeler. It'll be her first. Lady Bulldogs, Samford Bulldogs, that is second. So we have a couple substitutions here on the floor. Checking in for the Lady Bulldogs is going to be Aisha Nicholson, the forward out of South Euclid, Ohio. Hey, I know where that's at. Coming from Brush High School. Special shout out to Chet Mason and that program over there at Brush High School. Here's the inbound over into the hands of Virgin. Inside now, and now passed out for Simmons. She tries a mid-range shot. That one's no good, as we'll have a jump ball on the floor between Simmons and Tarpley. Possession remaining with Samford. Press is still being matched there by the Lady Bulldogs. Neuer has the ball in her hands, directing traffic. Driving, searching, finds the ball into the hands of Tarpley. She kicks up a 3, no good, rebounded by Virgin. Here come the Lady Bulldogs. A&M pushing the pace, as that pass was broken up and stolen by Samford. Nice drive off the glass. No! Shot is no good. Rebounded by Nicholson. Simmons pushing the ball. Nice Euro step. Takes an extra dribble, as we'll have the layup fall. And as that shot was no good there on the play. No, count the basket, as the referee initially didn't count the basket, as that one will fall and the foul.
Yeah, and Ms. Simmons having a good start out today. She's had 6 points and been doing a good job of getting to the paint and helping push the pace, as our Lady Bulldogs are having a real up-tempo offense being played right now.
So we have a quick substitution here for Coach Richards. Checking into the ball game for the Lady Dogs is going to be Imagine McCallum. Excited to see her onto the floor during her senior year campaign, as she was just getting things started. She had a very gruesome injury to her knee, which caused her to be sidelined during her senior year. And I had a chance to talk with Coach Richards about that injury and about Imagine, and she talked about her resilience and also how she brings a different level of maturity to this team.
Yeah, and we're going to need that off the bench. Like he says, a lot of new names, a lot of new players, and with a player of her caliber coming off the bench right now for the team, she'll definitely be able to step up and fill up a much-needed role for our Lady Bulldog team.
Also checking into the ball game is Chaunice Reed. Reed, a freshman as well, has had a pretty solid season to start this season off for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, she's the second leading scorer for our team right now with 10 points, so we'll need to see her getting going this offense.
Virgin dribbles the ball off her foot. Pass quickly inside. That shot's no good there by Bowman. However, she'll be at the line for 2. That foul will be charged to Chanel Mitchell, who recently just checked in from Austin, Texas. Also a Blinn College transfer. If you're familiar with Blinn College, it is the former JUCO, mostly known for football, including a former alum with Cam Newton in his amazing story, as she has now joined the Lady Bulldogs. That free throw is good. Out of the pair, it's a 10-3 ball game here at Elmore Gymnasium. As we'll have a quick timeout called there by head coach Margaret Richards. helping the Lady Bulldogs secure onto that possession with 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. The Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M are off to a hot start, 10-3. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 7-point lead, 10-3. McCallum finds the ball into the hands of Reed. Reed swings the ball. Now over into the hands of Frazier, who just checked. Oh, excuse me, McCallum. 3 seconds left on the clock. So we're going to have an offensive foul charged on to Nicholson. That'll be Nicholson's first, Lady Bulldogs second. Checking in for the Lady Bulldogs, going to be number 11, Amaya Simmons. Juwan, early on in this ball game so far, Coach Richards is quickly pulling a trigger on her depth and seeing what she has early on this ball game so far.
Yeah, I know we've been saying all game, but like we said, there's a lot of new names, so there's a lot of roles that need to be filled, and Coach Richards still with it being the beginning of the season, trying to see who's going to fill in and which spots on this roster.
Warrior able to knock down that three, brings this game to a 4-point game. McCallum tries to stop and pivot. She's going to be called for a travel.
And two tough possessions for our Lady Bulldogs, not being able to get into their offense with a couple of silly turnover, and then with two silly turns right there.
Defense.
Warrior looking inside. Ball is tipped. Still able to retain the possession here for Samford. 15 seconds on the clock. Neuer. So we're going to have an offensive foul charged on to Nelson.
Yeah, both teams struggling to get into the offense so far coming out of that timeout.
That'll be Nelson's first. Samford's fourth. Samford facing early foul trouble here in this opening quarter. Tough layup is blocked and knocked out of bounds. "20 seconds here on the shot clock for Alabama A&M. Simmons has the ball at the top of the floor. She drives, kicks out. Nice fake there into the hands of Smith. As that mid-range is able to fall.
That was a good job of Miss Smith being patient with her shot and getting to her spot and getting a nice open jumper there.
Smith had a huge game in the loss versus Nichols. That pass wasn't able to connect as Bowman wasn't able to find a ball there on that possession. Checking in for the Lady Bulldogs is going to be Tony Grace. Grace has the ball on the wing. Finds the ball over to Mitchell. Now Simmons driving on the left side of the wing. She's stripped. Samford pushing the ball. Nice pass inside on the 3-on-2 break. As Stevens was able to get that one to go.
Yeah, and the Samford Lady Bulldogs are starting to step up their defense. They're making it tough for us to score coming out of this timeout after the hot start from the A&M Lady Bulldogs.
Simmons has the ball on the wing. Hesitating. Finds Mitchell. Mitchell trying to look inside. That one's broken up and stolen.
That's 3 straight turnovers for our Lady Bulldogs. I know Coach Richards isn't too happy with that.
Bowman quickly finds Stevens. Now the ball is inside for Nelson. She looks to go to work. That shot's no good. Rebounded by Grace. Grace pushing the ball up the floor now. She gets on the left side of the wing. Driving baseline. Tough shot. A lot of contact there on the floor. As we'll have a foul. That foul's going to be charged to Alyssa Tarpley. That'll be her first, team's 5th. We have a quick substitution here by both teams. Onto the floor for the Samford Bulldogs. It's going to be number 35, Susie Nagolfak. As Grace is able to knock down the first of the pair. You mentioned it earlier. Grace, coming from Fishers, Indiana, a Davenport University transfer as well.
Come on, y'all. Defense.
Coming from a very good conference. Had a lot of experience. Talked to her about her experience as well prior to the season starting. And she just said one thing she's looking forward to bringing the most to this program and to this team for Coach Richards is the defensive intensity. Just being there as a captain, as a leader, to be able to speak on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and with her being, even though being a transfer, she's a graduate player, so she's going to be one of the eldest players on the team. So she can step into that leader role for us. And with it started with defense, that's one thing Coach Richards loves to do is force turnovers and get onto the open break.
Grace has the ball top of the key. 10 seconds here on the clock. Tough drive into the hands for Simmons. She kicks up a jumper. No good. Ball nearly saved there. However, not in time as Samford will take over. Nice action here from the Samford Lady Bulldogs. Stevens gets that pass inside there for Nagolfak. She quickly swung the ball back out. 6 seconds now on the clock. Iger takes a tough mid-range and in. Nice ball movement here from the Lady Bulldogs. Looking to find a good possession on this one. Grace tries a mid-range. That one no good.
It's been really tough for our Lady Bulldogs to score after having that hot start. I look for our Lady Miss Richards coach team to try and slow it down and really get into their offense.
3 is teed up. 3 is no good. Stevens flying in there, trying to save the possession as she stepped out of bounds. Checking in for Samford, it's going to be number 4, Sanaa Redmond. Smith leading the pace here for the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M University as Simmons' pass is intercepted. Redmond pushing the ball up the floor, surveying the floor, kicks the ball over into Knoyer as that one is knocked away.
Yeah, and these turnovers are starting to add up for our Lady Bulldog team. That's 8 here in the first quarter, and no team is going to want that many from their team, especially this early into the game.
Checking in for the first time for the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M, it's going to be Jalen Murray. Murray, a freshman guard out of Indianapolis, Indiana. last possession here for the Samford University Lady Bulldogs. Nice pass inside. Iger has her shot denied. Great defense there by Murray, who just checked in. 3 seconds on the shot on the clock. 2 seconds. No good, as that will do it for the first quarter. The Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 4-point lead. That is Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs, to be exact, as you can expect us to keep having that wordplay going on the rest of this game, as we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium, as Alabama A&M holds on to a 4-point lead. Now cut that down to a 2-point lead with an opportunity for one, as that layup was able to fall in the contact for Nagolfa. As that foul will be charged to Jayla Cody. It will be her first, team's first. Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M facing some pressure here on the floor. Tough fake. That one's deflected, as the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M are able to clean up the mess on the floor.
There's going to be a tongue twist all day game with that Bulldog.
All game, and I'm anticipating it. We won't be going anywhere, as this is a double header here one last time at Elmore Gymnasium. Hager was able to knock down that one. The Lady Alabama A&M is now holding on to a 1-point lead. Looking to find something good on this possession. Graves has the ball in the corner. 5 seconds now on the clock. Something has to go up quickly here. Smith takes a tough shot at the clock and beats the clock.
Tough shot right there. Needed something like that to energize this offense.
Redmond has the ball up top now. Redmond driving, hands the ball off. Nice screen there from the Gulfback as she opens her teammate up for the mid-range. Nice ball movement here as Grace is driving, nearly lost the ball, recovers the ball, finds the pass over to Free as she tries a three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Grace. Grace kicks up a three herself and knocks it down.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that our Lady Bulldogs are being aggressive at the three-point line. That was one thing we struggled with last year, is having multiple three-point shooters on the court. Nice to see Miss Grace hitting her first one for the day.
And it looked like that was one of the main focal points since then again at a couple practices that Coach Richards was looking for in her recruiting. It was one of her focal points, finding shooters and being able to open up teams on that offensive when they have the offensive possession.
Yeah, even that with the last couple of years, we've been having dominant big play from our multiple bigs, even going back 4 years ago. But it just seemed like shooting was always the Achilles heel of her offenses. So nice to see that we're trying to open up for her.
Quick swap here for both teams as Stevens checks back into the game. Also re-entering the game for Alabama A&M, it's going to be Nicholson as well as Mitchell and also Shanice Reed. Smith to inbound the ball. 15 seconds here for Alabama A&M. Smith received the ball back. It's over into the hands of Grace. Now back to Smith. Nice ball movement here for Alabama A&M. 5 seconds now. Smith drives, takes a tough mid-range off the back iron, no good. As we'll have a foul on the floor as Nicholson will be caught over the back. That'll be her second. Redmond directing traffic here. There's a 4 low play going on here. Nice ball movement, but there will be a 3-second violation charged to Ngofak. Unable to get out of the paint there as Redmond was setting up the offense.
Yeah, she's really been the focal point for Samford's offense. They've been trying to feed her down low, and when they're not giving her the ball down low, they're running pick and rolls to her. So she's really been the key point in this offense so far in this game.
Checking in for Alabama A&M is going to be Imagine McCallum. McCallum driving, looking for Grace. She finds Grace. Grace on the wing now gets the screen, ignores the screen, takes a tough right-hand drive, and she's clobbered down low as she'll be at the line for 2. Foul be charged to Hager. That'll be her first, team's first. Grace gets the first free throw to fall. Grace had a solid game, Jawan, versus Nichols, as she was able to pour it in for the Lady Bulldogs, contributing, getting that tough loss. 12 points, 2 steals, great hands defensively as we know her to have, as well as 4 assists.
Yeah, and that's a good all-around game, like we've been saying, turning defense into offense, and that was a key point in trying to keep that Nichols game close, like we said, with it being a 5-point loss. But she put her point into that game, hit her 3-4s, and just really gave us everything she needed in the offense and defensive side of the ball.
Checking in during our time is Kathleen Wheeler for Samford. Stevens tried to send the ball back over into the hands of Wheeler as that one was tipped and knocked back off of the body of Stevens.
Yeah, and another great defensive play from the Lady Bulldogs, and defense really been the key for us so far in this game, keeping us in it as it got us through those offensive struggles we had late in that first quarter.
Grace finds the ball into the hands of Reed. Reed is going to be called for a travel as she's staring in disbelief.
And that's our 9th turnover right there. We're entering double digits with 5 minutes still left in the second half, so that's not a good sign for this Lady Bulldog team so far.
High-low action here for Samford. Layup is no good, as we'll have an offensive foul charged onto the floor for Ngofak.
Yeah, good job right there, holding your position, drawing the foul right there. As Golfiak was being a little too aggressive trying to get her position in the post.
We'll have a quick stoppage here on the floor. 3-second violation. Rough start early on in this second quarter for both teams.
It's been sloppy play, a lot of travels, air balls, turnovers like that right there. It's just been a tough start for both offenses, and with it still being a close game, it can go either way. See which team clean up the game.
Nice ball movement here for Samford. What a pass inside for Tarpley as she's able to get the left-handed shot off the glass. Wide open there. Tough play for Alabama A&M as Grace quickly responds.
And
Tarpley driving inside for Ngolfak. Turn, spins, layup is around and in.
Yeah, and they're really attacking that matchup down low. Gonna see if Miss Frazier can hold it down with Ngolfak, as she's really been the dominant force so far in that offense down low.
23-25. Advantage, maroon and white. So we'll have a traveling violation charge yet again on the floor for Alabama A&M. Checking in for Samford is going to be Emily Bowman, as we have a timeout on the floor with 4:01 remaining in the first half. The maroon and white are holding on here at Elmore Gymnasium, 25-23. Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me in the production mic? Hey guys, can you hear me? No? Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M University are holding on to a 2-point lead. We have a foul there on the floor. Andrea Neuer will be at the line for 2. Checking back in for the Lady Bulldogs at Alabama A&M University. It's going to be Amaya Simmons. Also checking in, it's going to be Taylor Smith.
Yeah, Coria's having a good game so far. With that being her 6 points after that free throw, she's matched her with 6 assists. Doing a good job of driving in, bringing the defense in the paint, and doing making smart passes to her big men down low, big women down low.
Nice rebound there by Elam. She was able to corral that possession there for the Lady Bulldogs as Simmons has the ball. Directing traffic, finds a screen, hands the ball off to Grace. Smith drives, takes a mid-range, and knocks it down as she tickled the twine on that mid-range.
Yeah, and that's the second time this game she got the ball on the wing, pump fake, and got to her elbow and got a nice jump off. Doing a good job of being patient in the offense.
Nice deflection there by Simmons. Ball got a bounce there. Possession will go to the ladies in maroon and white. Smith now on the wing. Finds Mitchell. Tough shot, no good. Ball is deflected as Elam was able to come up with the possession. There's going to be a foul on the floor. Foul will be charged to Elam instead. That'll be her first, team's fourth. Checking back into the ball game for the ladies in maroon and white. It's going to be Jayla Cody. Andrea takes a tough mid-range, gets to the spot she likes and knocks it down. We're back to a one-possession game. Simmons quickly responds off the glass and in. Nice response there by Amaya.
Yeah, she's really been putting her on roll down in this game. She's forced a couple turnovers, got a couple tips, and one of the leading scorers for our Lady Bulldog team.
It is the battle of the 11s. As Knoyer comes back down the floor and knocks down a mid-range. As we have a quick timeout on the floor with 2:13 remaining in the first half. The Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M are still holding on to a 1-point lead. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium. Ron, such an historic gymnasium as we bring it to its farewell game tonight as we close out this amazing gymnasium.
Yeah, a lot of great moments being here in Elmore Gymnasium. One of my favorites being that even though it was shut down due to COVID, that SWAC game we had here with us being the #1 seeds and having that game come down to the end and us coming out on top, and what we thought was going to be a trip to the tournament coming soon, but little did we know that COVID's going to shut that down. But a lot of memories held here in Elmore.
Knoyer is able to knock that mid-range down out of the break. She now gives Samford their first lead of the game. Cody driving, kicking, finds Smith. Corner three, no good. Rebounded by Nigolfak. As Samford tried to quickly push the ball down the floor, Stevens was not able to bring in the pass on the fast break.
And that was Cornier's first turnover of the game. So with her having 6 assists and 1 turnover, she's having a real efficient shooting and doing a good job of handling the ball as well.
We have a jump ball on the floor. Possession will remain with the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. Smith finds Grace. 15 seconds, less than a minute remaining in the first half now. Grace driving. Takes a tough left-hand shot off the glass and in. And the foul, as she'll be at the line for one.
Yeah, and that was a tough finish right there for Miss Grace. Her and Miss Simmons really been the focal point of this Lady Bulldog offense, doing a good job of getting inside and hitting tough layups like that one right there.
Grace gets the first fall. She only had one trip to the free throw line versus Nichols, and she was able to take advantage of that one. As Nicofat will be charged with an offensive foul. She'll be quickly subbed out here for Coach Carly Coons. Samford Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, she's going to have to be more safe going into the second half, with that being her third one.
Here's Simmons. Trying to pass over to Cody. Nice ball movement here by Alabama A&M. 10 seconds now on the clock. Smith driving, kicking over into the hands of Simmons. Nice ball movement here. Smith kicks up a three. Short. 3 seconds now for Samford. Neuer quickly tries to go for a full court heave, as that will do it at the horn. Searching for a referee's whistle there through the contact. As the first half comes to an end, the Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 2-point lead at the half. As we'll be right back at the half. Juan, quick first half thoughts here in this ball game.
Yeah, it's been a real sloppy game for both teams, with both teams entering double-digit turnovers, with 12 from A&M and 11 from Samford. So they're both doing a good job of forcing them, but they're giving the ball up as well. And we're also doing a good job of getting to the free throw line, with us being 7 for 7 from the free throw line with 100% so far in this game. So just need to keep playing the way we're playing, just clean it up a little bit, and let our defense and our fast break points stretch this lead out for us.
Absolutely. Now, Andrea Neuer is going to be a problem for Alabama A&M coming out of the half. They have to find a way to stop her right now, as she's pouring it on for Samford with 12 points right now at the half.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of getting to her spot. She's hitting a couple mid-range jumpers. She's also gotten on the fast break and got a couple layups. And she's also controlling the offense as well, with 6 assists to her 1 turnover. So she's doing a good job of playing efficient, being smart with the ball, and trying to lead her Lady Bulldogs back into this game, as they just had their first lead and is down to a 2-point game going into halftime.
Yes, that will do it at the half. The Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 2-point lead at the half, 32-30.
So right now we're just going to get started.
If I get up a little bird, you got the free stuff for you. Certainly, I left the party. We're going to leave your hand. Oh, man, come on. We're going to leave your hand. Tell me your name. If I give it up, please get down here. So y'all scared for some reason. These guys out here, you got something to do, man. KP, it's your stuff, bro.
Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 2-point lead, 32-30 at the half. The party is not stopping here at Elmore Gymnasium as we bring one final game here and bring this gymnasium to a conclusion. During this time, we have one of the most legendary head coaches, and I'm so pleased to be joined alongside as I'm sitting here with history, a living legend, and one of Alabama A&M's most biggest supporters, one of the greatest coaches of our time here at this amazing university, Coach Betty Austin. I'm so pleased to finally be able to meet you. As I said off camera earlier a second ago, how great does it feel to be back in this gymnasium again?
I tell you, it's always a great feeling to be in Elmore. When I think about my start as a professional, I started in this gymnasium with our women's basketball program, our women's volleyball program, and I think about all the great times that we've had as athletically, but also academically, as I got an opportunity to mingle and talk with faculty members and staff members. So this place, it holds a lot of memories. I think about the faculty staff conferences, presidents, faculty, staff who were just supporting our students. And then I think about those wonderful student athletes who were just constantly giving all that they had to represent this university in a positive way.
Absolutely. Now, you saw 600 career victories in this gymnasium and over your tenure as coach. What were some of your favorite memories during this time?
Oh, wow. When I think about it, I'm trying to think about it. Some of my favorite times, there were so many great times. I don't even know whether I have a favorite. I think the most favorite to me probably was when we won the SWAC volleyball tournament in this gymnasium. We had been Division II for many years, and then when we got an opportunity to go to Division I, and we hosted to represent your school at your own facility and win a SWAC championship and then be able to go on to represent the SWAC in the NCAA playoffs. That's one of the memories that I will always have. I'm very fond of.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I want to talk about something recent now before we go back and I give you more questions because I'm so eager to finally meet someone that hung so many banners in this gymnasium as I sit here. I've always saw the banners as a young officiate myself, but I never got to meet the people that hung the banners here. So it's such an honor and pleasure right now to be sitting with you. I got so many questions to jump off. But one question I want to talk about is currently where the Lady Bulldogs stand as a volleyball program right now, as they take on one of our good friends in Montgomery that's sitting in the first seed right now at Alabama State. What would be a message that you may give that team that is going to face some adversity being an 8th seed and also being a team that's going to be an underdog?
First of all, you got to understand tradition. You got to understand rivalry, that our alums expected you to beat Alabama State University. It's a thing of pride. I realized that we probably went through some transitions, changing. I left, then we had another coach, and then we got this coach. And I know it's going to take her some time to build the program to where she wants it. But even with that, the expectations from our alums is to beat Alabama State University. And my hopes are that we will get there, where this is something that the volleyball student athletes understand. When you come before your rival school, you got to put your best foot forward, and you got to find that way. That I don't care how tired you are, I don't care what's going on, because they got to understand the coach has prepared them, but that coach cannot play it for them. And I think once they can buy into what her philosophy is and what Alabama A&M's volleyball program is all about, I think, and understand who paved the way for them. I mean, that was a lot of, look, when you look at just this facility,
Yes, ma'am.
these athletes have no knowledge what I had to go through just to get volleyball plates in a floor where we could have a regulation net. So a lot of things were done to pave the way to make things better for them. And I just hope one day they'll just stop and think about all of those student athletes who came before them and have paved the way for them to have better facilities, better playing field, and that's my desire.
And to also have that advantage.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When you had a crowd like this during your time, could you just possibly imagine that the legacy that you had and that your team's brung and would carry on now to today?
That was my desire, because I made my kids understand people love to be associated with winners. Now, we want to win in the right way. So it went beyond just coming out here and playing ball. You got to get out and you got to sell your program. You go to your student body and you tell them, we got a volleyball game tonight. I put signs all over this campus. I went in the dormitories. I did a lot of groundwork. And my student body, and I say mine because I take ownership in Alabama A&M University. My student body bought into volleyball at Alabama A&M, and I will forever be grateful for our students at Alabama A&M.
Now, last question I want to leave you on, the legacy of this gymnasium. During your tenure here at this university, which still continues,
Yes.
although you're still a fan now, you wore different hats, so many different hats for this program. You weren't just a volleyball coach, but you were also a women's basketball coach.
Correct.
So you've had so much time on this floor and in this arena, in this gymnasium. What do you believe is the legacy of Elmore Gymnasium?
Wow. I think the legacy is what we have provided for the community. The community. Yeah, a lot of athletic events were played on this floor, but so many other things occurred right here. So my legacy for Elmore is what we did for this whole community.
Wow, such inspiring words, and I'm so glad to have you alongside me right now on this broadcast. I thank you for what you've done for not only this athletic program, but this university as well. On the behalf of the younger population at the student body, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and thank you for everything you've done for this university itself. Not just the athletics like you mentioned, but what you've done for the university in furthering the playing field for our women's athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our legendary coach, Betty Austin, joining us here at halftime. When we come back, the Lady Bulldogs will take back onto the floor as they look to control and take home a win as they lead at half, 32-30. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as Samford will start the second half. Tough layup by Cornier. She's able to get that one to fall. Bring us back to a tie ball game. Juwan, quickly here, second half adjustments. What do you think Coach Richards as well as Coach Coons is looking for in this second half?
Well, I can say one thing for both coaches. Both of them are looking to limit the turnovers. Like I said before halftime, they both in the double digits now when it comes to turnovers. Now for our A&M Lady Bulldogs, I'd be looking for more scoring from other players. We have 2 scores near the double digits with Simmons and Miss Grace. And then other than Miss Smith, we have 2 points from Miss Free and 3 points from Cody. So we have no points off the bench. We need to open up our scoring and try and ease the load for us. And then also just continue to control the rebounding as we're 16-11 with 6-2 in the offensive rebounding. So if we continue to control the rebounds and clean it up a little bit, I feel like we'll be able to push away in this game.
And Samford was able to knock down the 3. 35-32. Grace hesitates, drives, takes a floater, and finishes. Redmond bringing the ball to the forecourt now. She's on the left wing. Ball is broken up. Great defense by Free for the solo right-hand layup. She gets it to go.
Yeah, and that's a good job of turning defense and offense, being active, seeing the lazy pass, and getting us our first lead of the second half.
As Free was able to break loose there and is able to get the breakaway layup on the steal. 36-35. We'll have a quick foul on the floor here.
Fouls on Bulldogs number 34.
Foul's going to be on number 34, Jayla Cody.
Teams first.
Nice ball movement here by Samford. Ball nearly broken away by Cody. As the three is kicked up and knocked down by Andrea Cornier.
Yeah, she's picked up what she left off. That gives her 20 here early into the third quarter. She has 3 for 6 from 3, 6 assists, and she's shooting 8 for 12. So really good game from Miss Cornier so far.
Grace finds Simmons. She tees up a three herself. That one falls short as she's going to be fouled. There's going to be a foul there on the floor as Simmons went flying, trying to follow after the ball. Checking in for the first time in the second half for Alabama A&M is going to be number 20, Chanel Mitchell. Coach Richards already making her second half adjustment felt here in this 2-3 zone. Redmond driving, Redmond kicking, looking for Nagofak there. That one went flying out of bounds, unable to connect.
And that's the one thing I can see with the zone. They're trying to limit Nagofak in the post. She's been getting the ball and making good decisions down low. The only problem with that is that can open up the three-point game with Miss Cornier being 3 for 6 so far in this game.
Grace has the ball inside. Takes the ball out now for Smith. She tees up a three. No good. Too hard. Rebounded by Grace. Nice awareness there by Grace on the floor, giving the Lady Bulldogs in maroon and white another possession. Grace pivots. Finds Smith now. Smith finds the hands of Mitchell. 5 seconds on the clock now. The Lady Bulldogs have to move quick. Simmons tries a tough shot. That bounces around the rim and in.
Yeah, they're real patient on the possession. Swinging the ball around, getting Samford moving around and finding a nice layup to finish the possession off right there.
Back and forth game here to start off early in the third quarter. As we have a little over 6 minutes remaining. That pass went flying out of bounds. As that pass looked like it just was a little bit too much there, as Wheeler was looking for an Nagofak on the high-low post.
Let's go, Bulldog, let's go. Let's go, Bulldog, let's go.
Checking in. That pass quickly broken up and stolen by Cornier. And she's able to get that one to go and puts Samford back ahead, 40-38.
Yeah, she's having a show of her own right now. She's single-handedly taking over for the Lady Bulldogs of Samford on the offensive side.
Grace drives, gets the layup to fall. Grace beat Stevens there on the pass and was able to find the open lane. She gets that right hand floater to go. Just our 5th lead change in this quarter.
Hey, man.
3 is up by Cornier. That one falls short this time as the pass was saved. Shot was saved there. What a save by Stevens, as we'll have a quick timeout on the floor. 5:17 remaining early on here in the third quarter. It's been a back and forth game as Samford leads 42-40. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M have plenty of work to do here as it's been a back-and-forth ball game so far. Juwan, what do the ladies in maroon and white need to do to break this game open?
Well, we just have to stick to how we were playing in the first half. We did a good job of keeping pressure on them and limiting the easy baskets for them in the first half on the defensive side. We're doing a good job of scoring, but when you have a team that's only missed one shot so far in the second half, you have to tighten up on the defensive side of the ball.
Tough possession offensively there for Alabama A&M. As Reed's shot went rolling around the rim and out. We'll have another timeout on the floor as the Lady Bulldogs are going to be right back on the opposite side defensively when we come back as they trail 42-40. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the ladies in maroon and white, that is, are currently trailing 42-40. Coming out of the break, Poyer is able to get that layup to fall and through the contact as she'll be at the line for one.
And that's a tough, quick basket to get out of the timeout. That was a good call right there from Coach Coons, running a nice offensive set, coming out of the timeout and getting that and one.
Checking in for Coach Richards and the Lady Bulldogs. It's going to be Taylor Smith. Five-point ball game here with a little over 4 minutes remaining. Pass there a little too much for Nicholson to come down with the ball. Still went bouncing out of bounds. Checking back into the game is Maya Simmons for the Lady Bulldogs. Simmons, the lefty, has had her imprint on this game so far, Juwan.
Yeah, she has 11 points, and she's 5 for 9 from the field goal. And also been playing great defense as well, so really good first game at Elmore for her coming out, Miss Simmons.
Smith pushes the floor. That one is out of the hands and into the hands of Stevens. Samford looking to add on to their 5-point lead. Stevens drives baseline, takes a tough shot off the glass, and the foul.
Yeah, that's the second and one opportunity we had in the last 2 minutes for the Lady Bulldogs. They need to clean it up on the defensive side as Samford starting to stretch this lead out.
Ronnie Stevens, she's fouled by Bulldogs number 1. Benjamin Nicholson's third.
As Coach Richards wants a timeout here on the floor, the Lady Bulldogs have a lot of work to do as they trail 47-40 with 3:56 remaining in the third quarter. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as Samford looks to be breaking away right now. JD, what do you think Margaret Richards drew up there during that timeout break?
Well, we need to start off better on the defensive side. We're letting them get inside, get easy layups, and not only that, but we're giving up fouls with it as well as we're entering the bonus now with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left still in this quarter. So we need to slow down, get a good possession right here on the offensive side so we can get into our defensive set and hopefully put some more pressure on this Lady Bulldog. Samford Lady Bulldog offense, my bad.
Simmons drives baseline, takes a tough shot. No good, but she'll be at the line for 2.
Foul on Samford's number 5, Carly Hitler. First second, team's first. At the line for the Bulldogs, 2 shots, 11, Amaya Simmons. Let's go, defense!
Something to point out for our Lady Bulldog team is, hopefully I don't jinx us, we haven't missed a free throw so far in this game. It's them 2 right there just made us 9 for 9.
6-point ball game here at Elmore Gymnasium. Great defense, pass nearly broken up as there will be traveling violation on the floor.
See, that's what having a little more defensive pressure do. Made them have to rush their decisions more, and right there you force another turnover.
Simmons looking inside, nothing there. Quickly finds the ball over to Smith in the corner. Nice ball movement here by the ladies in maroon and white. Smith up top now. Finds the ball back over to Simmons. Simmons spinning, nearly loses the ball. As she's going to be called for a traveling violation.
Yeah, this is a real high turnover game for both teams, with that being our 17th turnover game. We're nearing 20 for our Lady Bulldogs right now.
Stevens quickly finds that one over in the corner for 3, no good. Rebounded by Hager. And she's able to get the putback to fall. Now an 8-point ball game here. There's going to be another traveling violation here. The Lady Bulldogs pace has been sped up here, and we're starting to see a lot of mistakes, Juan.
Yeah, it seems like whenever the Lady Bulldogs of Samford gets us moving around and interrupts us swinging the ball and our slower pace half-court offense, it seems like we get a travel or force a bad pass. We just have to slow down, get into our groove of our offense as Samford is really doing their thing right now. That's another made basket right there for corner.
Indeed, now a double-digit game for Alabama A&M. 6 turnovers here in the third quarter alone for Alabama A&M. They look to clean it up on this possession. Simmons spins, met by 3 Samford Lady Bulldogs as she's able to find a teammate there for mid-range.
Yeah, and that's Miss Cody. That's her first bucket since the first quarter, and it seemed like she was going to try and have her implant on the game with those first couple of possessions of us feeding her. Hopefully she can get going here in this third quarter.
3 ball is teed up, no good by Stevens. As ball went rolling out of bounds, Alabama A&M was not able to find the possession. It will remain here with Samford. Checking in for Samford is number 12, Maddie Hacker. Fournier, nice find, looking inside for Bowman as Bowman ran into Stevens, who was also there on that baseline. Checking in for Alabama A&M is number 3, Amani Free, graduate forward out of Clay, New York. Also a Quinnipiac University transfer.
Yeah, we have a lot of transfers from a variety of schools on this Lady Bulldog team. I'd like to see how Coach Richards meshes these players together.
As Grace is knocked down to the floor, she'll be at the line for 2.
At the line for the Bulldogs, number 4, Tony Grace with 2 shots. And the ball game number 5.
Checking into the ball game for head coach Margaret Richards and the Lady Alabama A&M Bulldogs is going to be number 5, Shawnice Reed. At the line for 2 is Tony Grace. Heard a lot of her name in this ball game so far, JD.
Yeah, she's having a good game for us so far. But one thing you won't be able to see right there on the stat line is she's doing a good job defensively. She might not have any steals or blocks, but she's contesting shots and forcing turnovers, as she's forced a couple of those travel calls we had on the Lady Bulldogs.
Less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter as Samford holding on to a lead. Ball went flying out of bounds, a little too high there for Stevens. Checking back into the ball game for the ladies in maroon and white is number 20, Chanel Mitchell. Grace finds the ball over in the hands of Free. Now in the hands of Simmons on the wing. Samford quickly going into a 2-3 zone. As that 3 ball is up and stuck by Reed. 4-point ball game here for Samford. The Lady Bulldogs are quickly making their way back into this ball game.
Yeah, and that was a much-needed 3 for our Bulldog offense. That was our first one of the second half, and we haven't been doing a good job of stretching this Lady Bulldog team out.
Saw what you did there, as that layup is in by Bowman, as she quickly responds to Reed's 3. Grace finds Free. Nice fake. Tries up a 3 herself at the horn. What a shot, and a much-needed shot in the arm of the ladies in maroon and white. As that 3 falls at the end of 3, the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M trail by 3, 54-51. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as we get ready to start the fourth quarter here for the ladies matchup. Boy, has it been entertaining so far. as Samford looked to be breaking away there, JD, with a 10-point lead, and then came roaring back with that maroon and white pride. The Lady Bulldogs were able to cut it down to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, we ended that third quarter on a 9-2 run. We're 5 for 6 from our last 5 shots, and with those 2 threes we ended the quarter with, it opened up our offense. We haven't had that many shots going down for us, so hopefully we can let that momentum bring us over here into the fourth quarter.
Grace was able to get that floater off the glass and kissed in, as it's now a 1-point game, 54-53. Stevens has the ball on the wing. Less than 10 seconds now on the shot clock. High-low action inside and finished by Hager.
And these and one opportunities we're giving up to Samford has really been helping them stretch the lead out. They've only hit 3 threes, but this is their 4th and one opportunity to have this game.
One shot for Samford University is number 5, Carly Hedger.
Simmons will be charged with her second foul. Hager is not able to get that free throw to fall. We'll have a jump ball on the floor. Possession arrow standing with Samford. Quick substitution here for head coach Margaret Richards. Checking in, it's going to be Jayla Cody. As Mitchell is greeted with a standing ovation from her teammates. Great minutes out of her. Stevens takes a right hand layup off the glass and the foul.
Similar to the last possession, just giving up easy layups and also fouling them, and once again another and one opportunity.
Checking in for head coach Richards. Taylor Smith. At the line for one is Riley Stevens. Stevens, the junior guard out of Fairland, Indiana, University of Evansville transfer. So we'll have a quick foul here on the floor. Samford University looking to try to add a win. Both teams here looking to try to get their first win of the season, as Samford had a tough one earlier on, and both teams honestly had a tough one early on in their season respectively in their first 2 games prior to this matchup, as the Lady Bulldogs took a tough one against Nichols recently, as well as opening their season in a very, very tough matchup in Tuscaloosa versus the Crimson Tide. But also, Dwan, this Samford Bulldog team has been well tested as well, as they faced off against Troy and lost a tough one there, 4-point ball game to open their season, but then having to travel out to Nashville and take a tough loss to Vanderbilt, 81-51.
Yeah, both teams had a similar start to the season with a strong test against a tough SEC opponent, and then with a more local matchup being a more closer game. So they've had a similar matchup and had similar starts, and they're both fighting for this first W here, and we had a good game so far today.
Also, both teams have had some winnable games, as we knew the Lady Bulldogs was very much into a good one there, as we have an offensive foul charged on the Smith. The Lady Bulldogs had the game within grasp at one point versus Nichols, but also Samford has had some very winnable games as well. Lost by only 4 points to Troy in their home opener, their season opener, but then losing at Tennessee Tech by just 5 points is just not going to cut it for them.
Yeah, with tough losses like that, it comes in handy when you have a close game again like we have here today. So I'd like to see how both teams use that early game test to bring out the best in them and finish this game off.
Nice tip and steal as Grace is able to come up with the possession. Smith is able to capitalize on the turnover as she cuts this lead now to a 3-point game. 58-55, a little over 7 minutes remaining in the ball game. Boyer matched up against Grace. Met with the screen by Wheeler. Neuer has a little time left here for the Samford Lady Bulldogs to work. 5 seconds now on the clock. Neuer catches a screen. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, tries a three, no good, but there's going to be a foul as that three fell short. Foul is going to be charged to Amani Free.
Yeah, tough foul right there. The last thing you want to do, especially with Cornier having the hot hand she has, is foul her. Not only foul her, but foul her on the three-point shot is that.
The Lady Bulldogs' 14th foul. Cornier having a huge game. Her imprint has been everywhere on this floor so far during this ball game. She misses the second. Don't go anywhere, fans, as we'll have the second of this doubleheader right after this ball game here, as Coach Otis Hewley and the men's team look to bounce back after a tough road loss versus Tennessee State University.
Yeah, it's going to be another tough one here against Samford Bulldogs, with them being 3-0 and having some good wins coming into this. I like to see how Coach Hewley changes it up for his men's basketball team and try and get that first dub here in Elmore.
Layup no good by Gray. Stevens pushing the ball up the floor now. Cornier getting direction. She kicks the ball over to the corner for Stevens. That three a little too hard. Excuse me there, as that shot was actually Tarpley's three. Now Stevens tees up a three. That one in and out. Rebounded by Cody. Gray's pushing the ball in the forecourt. She finds Cody. Nice fake there by Cody as the ball fell short and into the hands of Cornier. Tarpley takes a tough left-hand layup, no good, but there's going to be a foul on the floor as Burgeon went for the strip.
And that's a tough foul with us nearing the bonus now, but also it was a good job of us stopping the break right there and not giving up another fast break, but now we're 1-on-1 situation.
Riley Stevens with 2 shots.
At the line for two is Riley Stevens. 5'11" guard out of Fairland, Indiana. University of Evansville transfer mentioned earlier on, that she's able to get the first to fall.
Yeah, she's been a key point for the Lady Bulldogs off the bench, with her and Ms. Heiger being tied for the most points off the bench and tied for the second most points for the Lady Bulldogs in this game.
Second one goes rolling in, as we'll have a quick substitution on the floor for head coach Margaret Richards. Checking back into the game is Shawnice Reed.
Yeah, I'd like to see if she can get another open shot here, as she's hit one of the long three-pointers we had in the second half, and hopefully we can get one a good shot off to try and open this offense up.
Tough drive by Grace. She's able to get that one to go.
And that layup right there put her at 21 points. She's been an excellent scorer for us and also a great defender. And with 3 assists, she's had a good all-around game.
Now leaves us at a 5-point ball game. A little over 6 minutes remaining. This will have a traveling violation called as Stevens went sliding on to the middle of the paint.
We need to get points off these turnovers. Samford's been giving us the ball up. We just have to execute and get points off of it.
Checking in for Samford is going to be number 5, Carly Hager. Virgin in the corner. She's going to be called for a traveling violation herself, as both teams trade turnovers here.
And that's been the story of this game, with both teams now entering 20 turnovers. It's just been a sloppy game for both Lady Bulldog teams.
Cornier driving and is able to beat 2 Alabama A&M Lady Bulldog defenders and is able to get the left-hand layup to fall.
Yeah, she made it look too easy getting out of that trap right there.
Mitchell's mid-range is too hard. Cornier tries a three, knocks down a three.
She has a hot hand right now. That's 34 points and 4 for 8 from the three. Has been a really excellent game she's been giving us today.
And counting as head coach Margaret Richards wants to talk things over with 5:03 remaining in the ball game. The Samford Lady Bulldogs hold on to a 10-point lead, 67-57. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the ladies in maroon and white are trailing 67-57, but plenty of time still left in this one, JD.
Yeah, and with Miss Corey giving us a show of her own with this 34-point performance she gave us, we need to find a way to get the ball out of her hands and force somebody else to get some points.
We'll have a quick foul here on the floor. Foul will be charged to Cornier. That'll be her third. Returning back to the floor is Jayla Cody. Tony will be at the line for another two for her 10th and 11th trip at the line. She gets the second of the pair to fall. She now brings the game back to a single digit lead, excuse me. Ball went on the floor there. Nice trap by the Lady Bulldogs as Grace is able to knock the ball off of the body of Stevens. The Lady Bulldogs can capitalize now on this turnover.
Yeah, I like to see that Ms. Richards brought the pressure up. We did a good job in the first half of forcing turnovers with the traps we were doing, and that's how we got that good lead to start the game off. So hopefully we can use that to bring us back into this game.
Grace, nice crossover there, spinning out, quickly finds the ball out to the wing for Cody as the Lady Bulldogs will reset. Smith looking to probe inside, surveying the floor, quickly finds the ball out to the corner. Edmonds tries a layup, no good. Still 67-58 ball game. Nice defense. Ball is broken up and stolen by Cody. Smith finds Simmons, gets her left hand layup to go off the glass and in. 67-60. A little over 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Smith matched up on Cornier. Cornier receiving the screen, spins off the screen. 15 seconds now on the shot clock. Great defense by Cody as the ball was nearly broken up. The Samford Lady Bulldogs are able to recover as Hager is able to find the easy left-hand basket.
Yeah, good hustle right there by Miss Cody. Just was a little bit too slow in getting the steal.
Freed looks inside for Cody. Cody going to work. spins. Ball is nearly stripped there by Higer. Free steps into the mid-range. That one's no good. Ball went tipped into the air into the hands of Stevens. (69-60). Hornier looking for the low post. She finds the low post. Shot is bounced around and in by Susie Golfak. As we'll have a timeout here on the floor with 2:42 remaining in the ball game. The Bulldogs of Alabama A&M trail 71-60. Juan, time is ticking and time is of the essence here for head coach Margaret Richards and the Bulldogs. What adjustments are you expecting them to make coming out of this timeout break?
Well, we're doing a good job of forcing turnovers, but we need to start scoring off of them. We've been keeping up with them all game on the scoring side, but now that they're starting to hold us on the offensive side, they're continuing to score, and that's stretched the lead out. So we need to tighten up on the defensive side, as we can't give up too many more points to stay into this game.
As we get a quick break here, Lady Bulldogs are looking to receive their first win of the season in our final game here at Elmore Gymnasium. Quick thoughts on the legacy of Elmore Gymnasium and your experiences here so far as we bring this amazing gymnasium to a close tonight.
Yeah, this is an iconic staple in A&M history. It's held many games. We've had many great moments and had a couple championships here. So hopefully we can send it off with a dub on the men's and women's side, as this has been a historic just part in SWAC culture, not even just A&M culture, as we got a much needed basket right there.
Counted and the foul. Nice break here for the Lady Bulldogs. As it seemed like time was starting to pull away, they're able to find their way to the basket and get the layup to fall through the contact, as Free will be at the line for one.
Yeah, that's what we need right there. Turn the defense into offense. Getting the turnover right there and getting the quick turnaround break right there. Now it's a single-digit game again.
Had a quick substitution here on the floor as Shawnice Reed checks back into the ball game for head coach Margaret Richards in Alabama A&M. Free throw is no good, as Free is unable to take advantage of the three-point play. 71-62, 9-point ball game here at Elmore Gymnasium. Redmond quickly swings the ball over to Higer. He's going to have an offensive foul charged on to Hager.
And that's one thing the referees haven't been letting the teams get away with them, is fighting down low in the post. That's another offensive foul they gave up.
As Hager will be done for the day as she fouls out. 5 of 6 from the floor, 10 points. Checking in for Hager, it's going to be number 32, Kirsten Nelson. Reed tries to drive and is rejected by Ngolfin. Quick inbound play here. Simmons drives across the court and is able to get the shot to fall. Nice runner there from Simmons.
Yeah, she's picking up that she's nearing the 20-point game herself.
Duck, them boy, they over there.
As we're going to have a foul on the floor as Nelson received the ball. Everyone in the maroon and white uniforms, we're looking for a jump ball on the play. As Nelson will be at the line now.
Foul charge to the Bulldogs for 12. Akia Elam, their second personal foul.
Nelson's first free throw is no good.
Into the ball game for the Bulldogs is number 34.
Over the season so far, Nelson shooting at a 63% free throw shooter as she gets the second one to miss as well. Free, tees up a three, no good. Ball is tipped around and knocked off of the body of Elam. Nice awareness there by Warrior.
That was a great hustle play right there. Keeping her awareness and keeping the ball in her Lady Bulldogs' hands.
Checking into the game for the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M is Shanae Nicholson. Redmond looking to buy some time here for Samford. We have a little over a minute remaining. This game is looking to come to a close. Grace is able to come up with the steal. Grace is driving. Solo layup off the glass and in. 5-point ball game for the Lady Bulldogs. Neuer met by two in maroon and white. Neuer gets the ball back during the trap, and she is going to be fouled by Nicholson.
That's a tough reach right there. As they was nearing a 10-second violation, just need to stay in front of him and try and force it.
As Neuer will be at the line for Samford. Checking in for Alabama A&M. It's going to be Imani Free. Coach Richards looking to get some offense back on the floor as Neuer tries her first. He's able to get that one to fall. Neuer, one of the better free throw shooters on this ball club, as she's sitting at an 85% free throw shooting right now for this team. Simmons finds Free, hesitates on the three-point line. She steps in for a mid-range. That one falls short. Neuer driving now. Brings the ball back out as she's going to be fouled by Reed. Checking in for Samford is going to be number 33, Riley Stevens. As Knoyer is back at the line for another pair. Second free throw is no good. We'll have a quick timeout on the floor as head coach Margaret Richards and the Lady Alabama A&M Bulldogs quickly draw something up here in this fourth quarter. As we'll have a quick timeout on the floor. The Lady Bulldogs have time, but time is not of the essence here in this fourth quarter, Juwan. As we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Elmore Gymnasium as the Lady Bulldogs are trailing 74-66. JD, it's been a tough one for them, but the main thing the Lady Bulldogs are going to have to worry about, whether it's a miss or make, is getting the ball out of the hands of Cornier, who they have had a tough time getting the ball out of.
Yeah, you don't want the ball in her hand, period, with her having nearly 40 points at 37, but also with her being the best free throw shooter on this team. With a made bucket, we need to find a way to get somebody else to shoot those free throws.
The three is up and falls short. As the ball rolls out of bounds, Samford will take over. In the game for Alabama A&M is Ajanay Nicholson. Redmond gets the pass and is immediately fouled on the inbound. And she'll be at the line for 2 now.
Foul is on Alabama A&M for the 11, Maya Simmons. Simmons third.
Foul's going to be charged to Simmons. It'll be her third.
At the line for Samford with 2 shots is number 4, Tony Correction. Number 4, Chanel Redmond into the ballgame for
Quick swap here for
number 3, Monty Free.
Alabama A&M as Free checks back into the ball game. Redmond is at the line as her first one is off. Following this game, you can find the Lady Bulldogs back on the road. That's Alabama A&M, that is, in the maroon and white. Back on the road as they travel to Florence, y'all, as they'll take on the Lady Lions of North Alabama.
Yeah, I like to see how that matchup goes and see if that's a nice finish right there. See how they match up if they can get that win back that our men's team needed.
Count the basket by the Bulldogs.
Count that basket by Shawnice Reed. She'll be at the line for 1.
The goal track, 4 points for 5. At the line for the Bulldogs with 1 shot is number 5, Shawnice Reed.
Reed's free throw is off the back iron. Nice rebound by Nicholson. She's able to find Simmons. Her layup falls short. So we'll have a jump ball with 13.4 seconds remaining in the ball game. Quick substitution here as Amani Free checks back into the ball game. We'll also have Simmons inbounding the ball. Simmons surveying the floor. Finds Free on the baseline. She's able to get the layup to fall. No, falls short. Redmond is able to come up with the possession. She's pushing the ball. Redmond's driving baseline now as she's looking to dribble the clock out, as that will do it here in the Lady Bulldogs' first and last home game here on this floor at Elmore Gymnasium. They fall just short, 75-68. Juwan, quick thoughts on the ball game.
Well, we have a lot of positives, but we have a lot of negatives for this game. We had 11 offensive rebounds. We forced 24 turnovers, but had 21 for ourselves. And we started to hit a couple more shots later into the game. We just have to do a better job of hitting shots during the game and cleaning up our game. We had 20 fouls, so 20 fouls and 20 turnovers. The 2 things that Coach Richards wouldn't want that high up. So hopefully we can clean it up and against Florence, try and get our first W of the season.
Also, you got to talk about the performance of Neuer as she was putting it on, especially in that second half, finishing the game with nearly 40 points as she finished the game with 37 points.
Yeah, and she had 7 assists with that. She had 4 turnovers, but she didn't start getting those till near the end of the game. She did a good job of not only being efficient with her being 13 for 18 and 50% from the 3, but hitting smart shots and with it being within the offense. It didn't seem like she was forcing it, but when she got an open shot, she took it, and they were falling. So a tough game for our Ms. Richards, especially when you give up that many points from one player. So I'd like to see how we adjust and come out Florence and try and get that first W.
Lots of pluses here for the Lady Bulldogs of Alabama A&M despite the loss. 19 fast break points. Also dominated in the paint, 38-30. So they'll be looking to take that momentum from that tough loss and push it now to Florence as they take on the Lady Lions of North Alabama.
Yeah, those the points in the paint are a big show for us, especially as, like we said earlier, missing those key bigs we had last year. It's nice to see that with us having a whole new offense, with us being more guard-oriented, to see that we still can get in the paint and make a difference in the game. Just have to, like we said, clean it up and try and finish the game off a little better.
As that will do it for our women's broadcast here at Elmore Gymnasium. The Lady Bulldogs fall just short, 75-68. Don't touch that dial yet, as the men's doubleheader will be right here on our broadcast and the Alabama A&M Athletics YouTube live stream.
out for the